Alright, so I figured I'd do something different since I'm trying to do weekly upload or two. I'm just gonna do customs I've made throughout the week. And since Sunday is the last day of a week, I'd figure I'm just gonna start now. So, yeah, at least two of these are repaint slash. Well, no, everyone is changed different from their previous model. So I'm just gonna begin starting with Boko. Boko was my TWR Boko, sanded down, repainted. None of the faces on any of these except for Molly are stuck. So if I wanted to, I could just make it a normal class 28, which is cool. But hold on. There. I'm just gonna, Boko. I'm really happy with how he came out. I use I think it's called Holly Green for the green. I don't think it's British Rail accurate green, but I also don't like BR green for steam engines or diesels that much. So this shade is much more pleasant to me with I think right here, it's a good example of the red, the yellow, like this mustardish yellow, and then the green. I think it all works very well. But, so, yeah, I painted him green. The decal, or the vent and door and cab, all those details on the sides are based off of the Ertl model, since, they're kind of easier to see than the low-quality PNGs that are on Google. And I don't know if they're accurate to the Class 28 or not, but I don't care, really. So I did that, and then it's kind of hard to see. I painted, there's the buffer beam detail, and then the black line, and his little things here. If I had to give this model one critique, these are too small, but also, I don't really care. So his face was repainted into this much nicer, more accurate to actual faces gray, and yeah. Here's his other side. I like how the back turned out. The masking tape actually worked on that side. So the yellow turned out very nice and neat and pretty sure equal. But yeah, that's Boko. And that's epic. Here's Salty. Salty is a model I wanted to do because it's really funny. No shame to the TV series, but whenever a model had a skinny area or skinny boiler, or I don't know what this major part would be called for Salty, vent area, it's always fat, and then when it's supposed to be fat, it's skinny. I find that ironic because with Salty's TV series model, it's just a rectangle, but with the Class 07s, it's kind of like a slant. So I added paper onto the sides, kind of made it firm with hot glue, painted it red. I don't know, I can't find my words. Gave him the yellow paint. Again, the face isn't stuck on. Salty with no brim. And now, what I did for the weathering, I don't think it's as good as watered down paint, but it's decent. I took a Posca paint pen. I don't have one on me right now, so I'll use this cat statue. I drew a line and then quickly smeared my finger. It works, but I mean on the top area, right? The top area, I don't think it turned out that well. I mean, this area kind of did, but here I struggled. But yeah, I don't think I actually wrote Salty. I didn't write Salty back there. Oh well, it's fine. Alright, now, I'm gonna just kind of zoom in closer to over here. So these models are easier to see. One. There. And then next we have Old Shape Henry. Old Shape Henry, for me, when I'm modeling, has always been an afterthought. like, I'll make my Henry model, and then I'm like, oh crap, I need my old shape Henry model, and I need it fast. And then, like, I throw a crappy one together. But, like, once I found I had a spare Henry, I was like, okay, I'll get to work on it. So, the tender, it's a cut-down Emily tender, and I say cut down because there's, like, there's, like, little things that poke out here. I don't know what they're called. I'm sure someone will. I cut those off, so it's more of, like, a condensed Donald or Douglas tender. And, filled in, just made it smooth and painted it. Anyways, so, what I'm doing for correct wheel arrangements, I mentioned this in my update video, but I don't want to keep finding beat up big city engines just for the big wheels, so I'm just going to work with the normal standard chassis. I got rid of the wheel that was here and replaced it with 2 Trackmaster push-along wheels, so 460 wheel arrangement. I know some people like old shape Henry with 462 Pacific, but I honestly think 460 is cool. It makes him more unique. I gave him slanted smoke box. I accidentally drew a black mark here, but I smeared it, so weathering is a bonus. The handrails are a little too thick in my opinion. I used masking tape on them and it kind of bled in some places, which is annoying and partially the reason why I don't use masking tape that much. But I digress. So, yeah. The face, yes. I, like, cut off the molded smiling face, sanded it down, rubbed off the eyebrows. I say rubbed off, I use sanding paper. And, just drew it to be like Henry's sad face. I think I did pretty good. I don't change the eye structure because I don't want to change that much, so it kind of just looks like he's doing, no special coal. It kind of looks like he's doing that. But, I digress. That's him. I also didn't give him any wheel arches, because partially because I forgot and I'm lazy, but also because I think it would be cool and make him more unique as a one-off experiment design if he didn't have wheel arches, and that's totally not just a reason I made up right now to excuse laziness. I mean, what? Okay, Molly, woohoo. Here's Molly. Hold on, let me zoom out so she can entirely fit in here. Molly, only one component of her, 2 actually, is actually from the TWR Molly. That's her tender, which now that I'm looking at it, really needs some work done to it. And her smoke box, which I didn't really need, but I don't know. Everything else was James and Edward, I think. So I extended the running board, and this is the bogey system I do for 440s. I like drill a hole here and peg and hole system, so it works, but it also, I mean, yeah, you kind of just saw it there. I don't really need to explain myself. I think the handrails turned out a lot better on this one. Struggling to find my words. I had Molly done prior to this, but then I lost her front bogey piece, so then I needed to redo her. I just extended the smoke box. And then she was put into a purgatory, like 70% of the models that were on my desk, because I ran out of the mustard paint for her, which I went and get yesterday. Same thing applies with Salty and Bear Boko. Anyways, but now she's done. Not much to say about her, really. I am proud with how she looks. I feel like, yeah, just more work on the tender needs done, because especially on the wheels, some of the yellow is showing, and it looks very yucky. And now, I'm just gonna zoom out, and I don't feel like zooming in to showcase it. So, here is Big Bertha, technically an OC, but, focus. There, thank you. I feel like Big Bertha is just one of those engines in real life that you're like, oh, that definitely would work into the Railway series. And I think it would, because, is established that Edward Banks trains, and I feel like it's also established that he's old throughout the series multiple times. So, this one-off banker design that is not old mind blown. I try to keep it consistent with the Donald Douglas liver I have because I don't like how Big Bertha looks in red. Maybe that's just me. I also haven't decided a good red livery for my engines. I'm in cahoots about that part. But yeah, we'll do tender first. It's lead paint. I'm not gonna call it 2003 James. I'm gonna call it lead paint James. Lead paint James tender with a lead paint caboose lip. I guess it's a little bit of the cab that I kind of put here. I don't think it's exactly accurate, but I think it portrays the overhanging cab a little bit more. So what I didn't do, and I don't know if I'm debating it still or not, but I didn't put Northwestern, like pull up Henry and I'll pull up Molly. I put Northwestern on their tenders because that's what I do with my engines, because I like to think that, they aren't just unbranded. But instead I put 2290 on her tender because I think she either wore LMS on her tender, or British Rails, or her number on her tender. I don't know if there's any other images of that. And then what I didn't do is didn't put it on the cab, which is the part I'm considering. It's really squished here, and I don't know if I want to try and shoehorn it in here and then have to repaint that area, which I don't want to do. And then Big Bertha herself. This was a Henry that obviously was extended. The cab was kept the same. The smoke box extended a little bit. Boiler extended a little bit. And put wood here for her big pistons, I guess. Other side, I haven't done other sides for the other engines. I forgot to do that. I'll probably do that after Bertha. Yeah, and then for her face, it's a 2003 Tomy TWR Emily face, repainted, and I did TV series edits of, it's kind of what I do. I make TV series edits of, the face sheets for characters. Some OCs from other people, some I just did for funnies. I did one with Big Bertha, and I tried to base it off of that. Which I think it turns out okay. It definitely looks the par. Alright. But yeah, that's Big Bertha. Oh, her lamp is just a piece of wood that I molded to look like a lamp. Alright, and then Molly's, I don't care about the bogey right now. Here's the other side. Nothing much, really. Old Shape, Henry, other side. And Salty's other side. That's gonna about do it. So, yeah, that's it. Stay off track. And I will see you guys next time.